Here.
Trustee Lee,
Here.
Trustee Tahada,
Here.
Vice President Walker,
Here.
President Gay.
Here. All right, unless there's any changes, can I get approval of the agenda, please?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
All right, can I have a motion approval of the minutes, please?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, moving on to communications, starting with the board report, and we'll start with our student trustees. Anybody like to report out?
Yeah, I can start. So at Oceana, we are having our third Senior X 8 a.m. deadline on February 14th, which is Valentine's Day, which is another marker in our senior classes completion of senior exhibition. And we celebrate with donuts and music in our courtyard, free for all seniors to enjoy. And then up next, we have a wildfire support drive for the Southern California wildfires hosted by our Black and Latino Student Union and our Oceana ASB. And speaking of ASB, we do have a new sophomore class secretary, and our ASB is planning our next March rally. We asked for general student body input by sending out a poll on our social media. Usually we ask around within our the ASBC, Associated Student Body Congress, but we wanted to outreach more to the student body because there had been people wanting to have more like average or regular student input rather than just having leadership be consulted. Then we're also planning our spring fling, which will be hosted in our gym. Usually they're hosted in our cafeteria, so this is a big movement because a lot of people really wanted to have it in the gym, so hooray. And then we have our junior and senior movie night being planned. Hopefully it can be hosted, but we're still working on the logistics.
Awesome. Thank you, Violet.
Yeah, so my name is Ryan. I'm from Westmore. And next month we have Black History Month at our school. And so in ASB, we have a subcommittee which is going to be creating cultural events and outreach to help support or just to help bring awareness and inform others about this event. Next week, we're also having Lunar New Year lunchtime activities. So we have a few cultural games and we're doing some handouts for students to learn more about traditional culture around this time. One of our largest business clubs at Westmore, FBLA, is also taking about 58 students to the Bay Section Leadership Conference next week. And here, students will have the opportunity to participate in competitive events and show off their skills throughout the entire Bay Area. We also have Hearts, which is Westmore's version of Valentine's Day. So last year, we gave individual heartgrams to every single student on campus. And I believe this year they're planning something similar. Key Club, one of our school's largest volunteering clubs, volunteered at a beach cleanup last week, and we'll be volunteering at the Lunar New Year Festival next week as well. Also, some sports are coming to an end soon, so basketball, cheer, and soccer are all having their senior nights. And this Friday, we're having a collaboration with the radio station 99.7, and they'll be doing music in a quad, and we'll also be I believe handing out some swag and some other outreach material. Yeah.
At Thornton today, we closed up our applications to start our mural project. I unfortunately was too late, so I will not be working on that, but we will today our first workshop with group Recita Eyes this afternoon came to our school to discuss the design of the mural in its early stages, so that's cool. This coming Thursday, so the day after tomorrow, 20 students, including me, we will travel to Año Nuevo State Park to view and study the elephant seals, if you know what time it is of the year. Our family community celebration is Thursday, February 13th from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. We will have a raffle, games, music, and we will serve dinner to our Thornton families. We have our new graduation site confirmed for class of 2025, which I'm included in. It will be held at the Pacelli Event Center in Daly City. I've never seen it, but just now I searched the photos of it and it looks nice. So I'm happy it'll be there. And lastly, I feel like we should regulate shout outs more in these meetings. So I want to shout her out because she made a funny comment today at school. So I'm doing this for her. I would like to shout out Thornton's counselor, Miss Carla. She gives everyone at Thornton everything that they need to succeed. She's super nice to me and everyone who is nice to her, you know. But yeah, I love her. She's awesome. And yeah, hopefully someone at Thornton is watching this, so they'll show her, or she's watching right now. I don't know. But yeah, shout out her.
That's awesome. Thank you, Daniel. Moving on to our board.
I like that, Daniel. That's great. Love it. I was able to be with the student trustees yesterday with the student advisory. Always good to just hear what's going on at the different schools and the excitement as they continue to work on their projects for the year. So it's good to have President Gallegos join as the other trustee with me for this year. So should be some good meetings coming up. Thanks. That's all I've got.
First of all, I want to apologize for running late. This will not happen again. It's Daly City traffic. For not much to really report, but just to say I had the opportunity to hang out with Trustee Lee and President. How do I say it?
Gallegos.
Gallegos. There
Yes,
you
sir.
go. With the student trustees yesterday, and I think Andy, you and I were talking about this, is just how inspiring it was to see young people at this stage in their lives being involved. So it was really, really cool to see that. So keep pushing for it, especially in this day and age of turmoil, uncertainty, anxiety. It's really cool to see that young people are stepping up and really making us adults rethink when choices and decisions we're making today. So.
So Trustee Lee and I, we attended our orientation for school board partners. We've been chosen as fellows for the cohort 7, and this is the organization that our board sister Kalima Sahaluddin had participated in last year, and through that she was able to write the equity policy and bring us some valuable tools, but we thought that we would apply and see if we could learn it ourselves firsthand. So it's really exciting to meet trustees from all over the country. And a lot of them, they may be in Alaska or Kentucky or Indiana, but a lot of them do have roots here in the Bay Area, in California. And of course, many of them had already heard about our workforce housing. They knew us, they already knew us. So I'm really excited about this opportunity. So with the latest executive orders, it's really by the president, it's really struck me. And I'm really glad that we're taking a stand to protect our families. My dad told me like 40 years ago, he would be he worked for the Navy. He was a civilian who worked for the Navy, and like 40 years ago, he'd be down by the border in Texas, and they would just stop him to ask for his ID. And he would just say, sure, what do you want, U.S. Coast Guard or Department of Defense? And he would do either would be fine. And so he just took it as that. And my brother in the 90s served also in Texas for the U.S. Army, and they would ask him for his ID. Clearly, he was a serviceman the way he looked, but no, they wanted to see his ID. And to me, these were just stories. And now for me, I worry if I'm in the wrong place and I don't have my passport, how do I prove I'm a citizen? you know? So I'm going to work extra hard to protect our families. And this has really, really become too real for me. But just know that I'm do everything I can to protect our families here.
Thank you, Rosie.
I have nothing to report.
All right. So I just kind of want to add on to where Rosie left off a little bit. And I know that there's a lot of people out there that are unsure of what's going to be going on, but I think it's important that we just continue to, engage with our communities and educate ourselves on what we should be doing and the right pathways to figuring things out. So, and I think we've done a good job that here, so far at the school district. So hopefully that continues. But thank you for pointing that out, Rosie. Also, too, just sitting in on the student advisory meeting last night was sweet to be back in the room with those guys and kind of feeling their energy and listening to all the good stuff that's happening in our school district. And to be kind of tapped back into all that stuff, it makes me eager to kind of get back out there and mix in with these guys and see all the cool stuff they're doing. So looking forward to that. So now then we're moving on. Miss Tony Presta is not here tonight, so we have Tina stepping in. Do you have anything to report out?
No, I'm just happy to be here, stepping in. I appreciate the opportunity to sit up here,
Thanks for being with us, Tina.
but nothing to report.
Awesome. All right. So then are there any board subcommittee reports? All right. And then moving on to our AFT Local 1481 report with Monica. Little button, maybe.
Sound the base of the microphone.
Okay, thank you. I was like, I don't think that's it. Anyway, thank you for having me, as always. Thank you for bringing up our families and our students and our community. I also want to make sure we are patting ourselves on the back, not that we've done anything, but that I feel very comfortable with our school district and our board and our students and our families to support everyone. And CFT is also really trying to put information out there to help support. So if you need more information, I've been sharing it with our wellness counselor, Melissa Ambrose, and she's disseminating the information from CFT as well. In the past couple of weeks, I was working with CFT on some projects that are trying to get more money into the schools and to get better health care for everyone, not just some, but for all of us, and committees. So I've been doing a lot of work at the California level. So I just wanted to report out to that. Thank you.
Thank you, Monica. All right, moving on to consent. Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All right, is there any public comment this evening?
Yes, we have a public comment from Eleanor Jonas. Ms. Jonas, you're given 3 minutes to speak, and because it's a non-agendized item, we can't respond to you.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
My name is Eleanor. I graduated from Terra Nova in 2022, and I'm here to talk about the arrest this morning of Paul Spinetti for sexual battery of a student. And this arrest is something that's being celebrated by current and former Terra Nova students all over social media. And the word that I keep seeing is like, finally this is happening. It's something that's long overdue. And his presence at Terranova was the reason that I and other girls didn't take woodshop. You know, we're scared to walk past him in the hallways. I had friends who were scared to be in his classroom, were uncomfortable, felt unsafe. Some people I've heard went to administration or teachers and nothing happened. I don't know that much about that. But I do know that a lot of people were scared to speak up because there was a distinct feeling that if they did, nothing would really happen. And I love Terranova, I love this district, but I do think it is a failure on behalf of the school and the administration that he was allowed to teach for 10 years, like without anything happening, when every single student at that school knew what he was. So I think that there needs to be an atmosphere where students feel safe speaking up, where they think they'll be listened to, and the school needs to, or the administration needs to make our schools safe. You know, I know, and I don't want people to think, oh, he was arrested, that means it's over. Like, I've heard of other teachers, other people, like, this is not a lone problem. So this is not something that should be allowed to happen ever in our schools. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I know that the board members can't comment on this, and I would like to thank you for coming and speaking tonight. And I'd also just like to say that the police department has encouraged anyone with any additional information to contact them. Sergeant Dwayne Watchelbarn is the person who's leading the case. So if you have any additional information, I encourage you to reach out to him.
Eleanor, I do want to thank you for being brave and standing up here and saying what's on your mind. I appreciate that. All right, so moving on to action items. Let's see here, caught up. Application for variable term waiver for Michael Bray. We'll move this over to our Director of Human Resources, Ms. Dana Lujan.
Good evening, everyone. The application before you this evening is a request to waive the credential requirement for Michael Bray. He is currently, as of I think yesterday, enrolled in a career technical education program. So he will, and we anticipate he will complete the credential requirement before the end of the school year. So this is a temporary waiver. And I welcome any questions.
Okay, if there's not any questions, then recommend a motion to approve Michael Bray's variable term waiver.
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Right. Item 8B1, appointment to JUHSD Educational Housing Corporation Board. And this is Director of Communications, CTE, and Staff Housing, Denise Shreve.
So we would like to recommend Michelle. Oh, thank you.
We would like to recommend Michelle Fortunata Kewen as the employee representative member of the Educational Housing Corporation.
Any questions?
No?
All right. Can we get it?
Motion to appoint Michelle Fortunato Kewen to the JUHSD Educational Housing Corporation Board.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any future agenda items for consideration tonight? All right, then I'd like to recommend a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.